So I was finally able to sit down and watch Game 1 of the NBA Finals between Miami and Denver. Just wrapped it up. Had some problems with my TV last night. Not a big deal. It's fixed. So, what a game. What an interesting game. Game 1 is, they say it's the feel-out game. This was the Rust versus Rust versus, I guess, fatigue. The quick turnaround for Miami going from Boston to Denver. We learned some things here. Miami looks really small. And, if you are subscribed to the podcast as well, ZG, he came on the podcast with me to discuss, obviously the NBA Finals and to preview the whole thing. And we talked a little bit about the size and how this should open up some rebounding opportunities for Denver. But early, they pounded the ball inside, especially to Aaron Gordon. They would run screen and roll with him. Gabe Vincent would switch onto him. And then from there, he got layups. It was pretty ridiculous. He scored eight points really quickly, all off of dunks and layups, with him just, taking his big body, sealing off Vincent, and then scoring easy buckets inside. And that was a theme throughout the game. Miami just looks really small in comparison to everything that Denver's putting out on the floor. And, that's going to be something that Miami really has to figure out. One thing that really popped early was Bam. He played well. Let's say that first. He played really well, but he did exactly what Denver wanted him to do. He took a lot of mid-range jump shots, and that's what Denver wants. Okay, Miami's a team that likes to get to the foul line. They shot 2 free throws the entire game. That's a record for the NBA Finals, and a lot of it is because Denver plays this drop coverage with Jokic because, as we all know, when he has to defend on the perimeter, he struggles, just like every other center in the NBA. And they want to keep him out of those scenarios as much as possible. And so that leads to them running this drop coverage, and that opens up, this 14 to 17-foot jump shot for Bam Adebayo to take, and it's a shot that he likes to take, and he made it a lot. He was 13 of 25 from the field, scored 26 points, had 13 rebounds. He played really well. But, as I said, that's what Denver wants. They don't want them getting to the free throw line. They want, Miami operating from, 15 feet and further out, especially when it comes to Bam Adebayo, who should be attacking Jokic, because when Bam's taking those shots, there's no chance for Jokic to get into foul trouble. And when Jokic gets into foul trouble, he has to sit on the bench. And, look, people have talked about it all year. What does Denver look like when Jokic is off the floor? So I'm going to expect for them to attack Jokic a little bit more next game, try and make him play a little bit more defense, as opposed to just settling for those mid-range jump shots. Now Jokic, first quarter, was incredible. Didn't take a shot till there was 2 seconds left, and that's because there was a steal and he was standing right by the rim. He had 6 assists in the first quarter. They got whatever they wanted. Denver had 20 points in the paint in the first quarter. They just pounded the ball inside. It was so easy. And at the start of the second quarter, Jokic starts it off on the bench, and Miami goes to zone. And it didn't really work. Denver put Jeff Green in the middle of the zone. I'm not going to say he got whatever he wanted, but he's able to make that little floater or hook shot there in the lane. He's skilled enough to pass. Michael Porter Jr. hit a couple threes against the zone. Jamal Murray hit a 3 against the zone. Miami isn't going to be able to zone. They're not going to be able to play zone against this team. Denver just shoots the ball too well. And it's going to be really interesting to see how Miami adjusts defensively. With about 7 minutes, 15 seconds left to go in the second quarter, Jokic comes back in. Miami goes right back to man-to-man. Outside of that, this was just a really dominant performance from Denver. They controlled the game the entire way. Especially through the third quarter. The only note I've got from the third quarter is Caleb Martin makes his first shot in the third quarter, and that's the only shot he makes all game. He cooled off tremendously from the flight from Boston to Denver. And then to open the fourth quarter, Miami goes on this 11-0 run, but it never really felt like much of a threat. Denver was still in control, still staying up by double digits most of the way. And then with about 2 minutes left, Miami cut it to 9, but even then, it didn't really feel like too much of a threat. And here's the thing for Miami fans. You guys can win a game in Denver. It's just going to be really difficult to, and I feel like if there was a game that Miami was going to win in Denver. It was going to be this one. It was going to be the game where Bam Adebayo scored 26 points. It was going to be the game where Gabe Vincent scored 19 points. It was going to be the game where Highsmith scored 18 points. Okay, I get that Caleb Martin didn't do anything spectacular, but you had 3 other guys who played extremely well. And then you look at your star in Jimmy Butler, who had 13 points. He can't be your 4th leading scorer. He can't be, okay? If Miami's going to win this series, he's going to have to, be somewhere between like 25 and 30 a night. And 13 isn't going to get it done. I don't care that he had 7 rebounds. I don't care that he had 7 assists. Okay, he has to be more aggressive. He has to get to the free throw line. He didn't take a free throw. Jimmy Butler didn't take a free throw. That's unheard of. Okay, like he has to be better at getting to the line. You pair the lack of free throws with the lack of three-point shooting, because they didn't really start making shots until the fourth quarter when it was too out of hand. It was just too far out of hand. Denver went into the fourth quarter up by 21, and you're not outscoring this Denver team by 22 points in the fourth quarter, in any quarter, as really. So, Miami, Jimmy Butler's got to be better. Caleb Martin, he won't shoot that bad again from the field. Max Strus was 0 for 10. He's not going to shoot that bad again. He literally can't shoot any worse than that. So, yeah, I mean, Miami's going to be fine. Okay, they're going to make adjustments. It'll be interesting to see how they attack Jokic when Jokic is playing defense. I'm going to expect them to put him in a lot more screen and roll, especially since you know that he's going to drop. You either have to make him pay for dropping or you have to make him step up. So I think it's going to be a lot of Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo screen and roll, maybe even run some screen and roll with Duncan Robinson. A little bit further out, allow Duncan Robinson to get open and shoot the ball from 3 off the dribble. That's something that he can do. It's something we've seen him do in these playoffs. He looks really comfortable putting the ball down on the floor. Jeff Van Gundy was talking about that during the game. Looking at the Denver side of things, Aaron Gordon I thought was awesome. Came out really aggressive, scored a lot of points early, and then he single-handedly forced Miami to stop switching screens. Okay, we see it, about 3/4 of the way through the second quarter. Anytime he set a screen on Gabe Vincent, Miami would not switch. They left Jimmy Butler on him, and it allowed Jamal Murray to go to work against Gabe Vincent. Which not being able to switch screens, that's a big deal. Okay, that wears on teams. It's so much easier to just switch. So I thought that was really big. I thought he played well, defended well. He's going to be a tough guy for Jimmy Butler to really get going against. I thought Michael Porter Jr. played well. 13 rebounds. That's big. 14 points. Didn't shoot it super great from the field, but, you have some nights like that. Still finished with 14 and 13. That's really productive from your third best player. Jokic, 12 shots. He scored 27 points, dished out 14 assists, and pulled down 10 rebounds. I mean, that's ridiculous. Okay, 1 of 1, best player in the world, Jamal Murray, an offensive machine, 26 points, 10 assists. He had a double-double as well. Bruce Brown off the bench, to be more specific. Thought he played well, 10 points. Hit some open threes. Continues to play good defense. Just a really complete game from Denver. I thought they looked really good. It's going to be interesting to see how Miami adjusts. Game 2 is going to be a big one. Miami's going to come out swinging. They want to grab one of the first 2 on the road because it's really tough to win 4 in a row against anybody, especially this Denver team. So that's going to do it here for this video. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch the video. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, comment below. Who do you think is going to win the series and in how many games? And if you want to hear more from me, you want to hear more of these reactions, subscribe. I'm coming out with more after every single NBA Finals game. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.